Hey, what is up, everybody? Michael Crump back here again, talking about the latest and the greatest in PlayStation homebrew news and much, much more. So, today I wanted to make a follow up video from the video that I created yesterday. I started looking around on Cturt's GitHub, where basically this page exists, which is what we've all been looking at and reading really since September the 14th. And one of the things that I found by looking at the commits was that there was several updates to this blog post. Now, for the most part, there was a lot of commits that were fixing things such as spelling errors or maybe clarifying a few other things. Now, one thing that I did notice when I was in here was that it says, and this is what was cut out of the post that we're all reading here today, it says, I feel comfortable using this term because PlayStation's official response to me after 1 year from reporting was that they decided not to try to patch this chain. Now, this was removed again from the version that we're currently reading today, but what this does tell me is there has been some information that at least PlayStation shared with Cturt that may help us a bit here in the scene, mainly because PlayStation did not care enough after 1 year from reporting it to try to patch it. So this may make it feel as if this exploit isn't as severe as we may have thought. But again, we don't know right now at this point. Now, heading back over to my original video, in the video, right around the 4-minute mark, I was talking about how Cturt sent the Clona ISO game over to his PlayStation 4, and basically he did that using Netcat. Now, in this video, I also thought that McCaulay was doing the same exact thing, which is just running this kind of Netcat command. Now, he did respond on Twitter and said, for clarification here, the ISO was sent over the network by a Python script, which is essentially the same as using Netcat. So while this information isn't something groundbreaking, at least it is interesting to know that he was sending ISO images again over a network, and it wasn't something such as maybe a USB drive. So knowing that this Python script used Netcat, and Netcat would be only available for sending files over a network, then at least we can kind of come to terms on that. And so back over in my original video, I showed right here, he put the save on a USB drive in order to copy that over to his PlayStation 5. Now, this has also been discussed, and they ask, how did you make your exploitable save? Just curious, and the answer there is I personally used my exploitable PS4 to sign and encrypt the save to my profile, which could then be used to import the save on the PS5. I think that you could use Save Wizard on PC, but he basically doesn't have it. And obviously, Save Wizard would allow you to re-sign a save game file for a PlayStation 4. And then again, any PlayStation 4 that is exploitable, basically 9.00 and under, would work perfectly as well to sign and to encrypt a save game. And now where this really gets interesting is that a couple of hours ago, we saw this tweet from McCaulay again, which was a Python library and command line tool to parse, create, modify, and delete files within the PS2 PSU file format. And so if you don't know what this is that this is save game files for the PlayStation 2. Now, we can come right over here and we can take a look at this library. Again, this is showing, a couple of hours ago that this was put out there, but there is quite a bit of a surprise that's in here. So if you take a look at what this tool does, it's basically using Python. You're installing his package, and then you can come in here and you can manipulate PS2 PSU game save files. So there is a couple of different commands here to list the files and directories within the game save, create a game save file. You can import, you can export, obviously rename or delete. But if we start looking right over here, we should see something that we stop and think, did he just secretly give us what we need in order to create our own save game file for OKAGE? And I believe that's exactly what he has done, or maybe is at least preparing us for, simply because this ID right here matches up to OKAGE Shadow King. It's SCUS 97129, which is really awesome because that is exactly the sample that he showed us here. Now, again, these are just samples on how to list the files, import it, export it, all of that we just looked at. But this may have been something that is going to set us up for success in creating our own save game file. And so I really just wanted to share that with you, was that here we are a day later and he's released a tool for analyzing and creating these PS2 save game files, and in the sample itself was actually OKAGE. Well, anyway, thank you so very much for watching. I hope you got something out of this, and I'll see you on the next one. Michael, out.